back to The Horror with your hostess with the mostest, Jonabelle, as always. So it is that time to go ahead and dive into probably the most hotly debated sequel in the Halloween franchise, and that is Halloween 6, The Curse of Michael Myers. And yes, I will be talking about both versions of the movie, and they will have their own separate videos. So this video right here, we are talking about the theatrical release, the one that we were all burdened with for so many years before bootleg copies came along, and the official release, Blu-ray release of Halloween 6. I actually have mine as part of my 15 sets Scream Factory Halloween Blu-ray sets. But yeah, let's dive into it. So, Halloween, what number did I just say we're doing? Halloween 6. So Halloween 6 came out in 1995, and I was really kind of excited for this one. I did not go to see this one in the theater, but I was really excited when this finally hit the video rental shelves and everything. Yes, back when there were still video stores and everything. Because this was really kind of like the first one where I was kind of like, ooh, new Halloween movie and everything. And then I watched it and I was kind of like, I don't get it. I have no idea. And plus two, it kind of like, I didn't really get it for quite a few reasons. I think one of the biggest reasons is, and keep in mind, like, 95, I was 11, so it wasn't like, I had seen pretty much all the other Halloween sequels up to this point, but, like, I didn't have enough sense to make the connection that the actress they replaced Danielle Harris with, J.C. Brandy, as Jamie, I didn't have enough sense to realize that that was supposed to be the same character, and also to the Tommy Doyle character. Like, I didn't have, like, the common sense that Paul Rudd's character was the same kid as the first movie. I give him props for kind of having those two characters in here and everything, but it's kind of weird too, because now as I'm thinking about it, because you figure in 78, Tommy Doyle was like the little like 7-year-old kid or 8-year-old kid, whatever. And then, almost 20 years later, and he still looks like he's, like, maybe, like, 20, and it's like, that doesn't really seem to work in my head. He seems like he's in his early 20s, whatever. I know a lot of people kind of critique, J.C. Brandy because she looks like she's a little too old to be Jamie in this movie. I think she looks fine. I think she works for this character and everything, but whatever. Little gripe on my part. But let's talk about J.C. Brandy for a minute, because I know a lot of people obviously realize, they replaced Danielle Harris and everything. Here is why, from what I've gathered from, like, especially to a lot of it came from, I think this special features on here of, like, kind of what went on and everything. So basically, backstory is that, and this was the first, like, studio-made Halloween movie, under the Dimension wing, for Miramax and everything. So this was, like, the first, like, studio Halloween in the franchise, which I think they really kind of messed it up. I think that's really where stuff really kind of fell apart, very similar to when Paramount gave up the rights to New Line for Friday the 13th. This is where really shit hit the fan, let me tell you. But anyway, so Danielle Harris's agent kind of had contacted her, was like, hey, I saw that they're casting your character in a new Halloween movie, like, do you want to try and get it or whatever? And she's like, well, yeah, like, why aren't they contacting me? Why are they trying to, like, replace me and recast my character? So basically, the reason why they wanted to go with someone else, because they wanted someone who was at least 18 to do, like, longer shoots and stuff, because at the time, Danielle Harris was only 17 when this movie was being made. So she's like, okay, well, what do I need to do to try and get this part? So basically what she did was she, emancipated herself from her mom, from her parents and everything, So she has to kind of prove like she's, she's pretty much able to take care of herself and everything, and like be like have the she has this responsibilities to actually be her own individual adult and everything. Basically, I mean, and she's 17. Like, difference between 17 and 18. One year you're considered a minor, the other year you're considered an adult. It's like really like you're basically competent enough. So. So she did this, she went to court and everything, was like, here, I can prove that I am, competent enough to be an adult and everything, take care of myself. Spent all this money to get emancipated just to be able to have this role in the movie and everything. So she emancipated herself, told the movie crew of like, hey, look, I'm considered an adult now. Like, I can do the movie, like, and I guess the movie studio was interested. They're like, okay, well, let's do this. The only issue, though, and why this didn't work out, why she wasn't cast in the movie is because, Danielle Harris was like, okay, well, can I have, just a little bit more money? Because, first of all, I've been in 2 other movies, pretty much as the main character. This would be my 3rd one. And fourthly, I just went through all of this to prove my loyalty to this brand and this role. Like, can you at least kind of compensate me for emancipating myself? Like, it wasn't even that much money. Like, it was like literally, like, in the grand scope of things, it was literally peanuts that she was asking for. And they're like, you know what? No. You know what, your skill character, you only die, like, within, like, this amount of time in the movie. Like, no, like, you're not in the movie all the way. You got, like, 10 minutes of film time. So they were like, nope, bye. So then they replaced her with J.C. Brandy. And J.C. Brandy, I mean, honestly, she's no Danielle Harris, but, I thought she did a really good job. She did a really, I thought she was good, especially in the producer's cut, which I will talk about when I get to that one in the next video. But, I mean, she did do a really good job. I thought, she really kind of made the Jamie character kind of her own and everything. So she was, she was not that bad. She wasn't. I liked her. But, whatever. But anyway, so that's kind of that. But let's talk about the movie some more. So, the movie, we open up, we see that Jamie just had a baby and everything, and in this version, we don't know who the baby's father is. We have no idea. For the longest time before I saw the producer's cut, I just kind of assumed in my own head of like, okay, well maybe, she had like a boyfriend or something, maybe she kind of like ran off or something, kind of tried to start her own life or something after all this crap happened to her years before and stuff, and oops, had a baby. Kind of always thought that, but yeah, I won't say what exactly, I'll save the rest for the next video, but whatever. And then it's kind of like, she gets killed, and I really, honestly, in either version of the movie, the way that Jamie Lloyd died, her character was killed off, I really just, I'm not a fan. I don't think a lot of people really are big fans of how, I don't even Danielle Harris, even though she didn't get the part, has stated that she didn't like how Jamie Lloyd's character was kind of taken out of the picture of the storyline and everything. Her killing off, it sucks. It sucked. But yeah. And also, too, the beginning of this movie, we have, like, this monologue that, in this version, Paul Rudd's character, Tommy, kind of is going over, like, the things about Michael and everything. Honestly, the monologue, it really kind of blew. I didn't really like it that much. This monologue in the producer's cut version, I think, was done much better, much more eloquently and everything. This, in the theatrical cut, it stunk. And plus, too, something that really kind of stuck out with me was that at one point he said, like, oh, Michael took out, killed his entire family. His entire family, because up till this point, Jamie wasn't dead yet. He hadn't killed her yet. But before this, and correct me if I'm wrong, maybe I'm, like, forgetting someone, but he only killed the one sister, at the beginning of part one. He didn't technically kill Lori because, as it was written, she died in a car crash. His parents, from what I understand, were also killed, I think, in a car crash. So, unless if Michael's making, like, car crashes happen, even fake car crashes happen, he only killed one member of his family. So, yeah. Is it just, just a lot of things in this version. I'm not saying that the producer's cut is, like, amazing or anything. That still has its issues, but the theatrical version is such a clusterfuck of a movie. Yes, I said clusterfuck, but it's not even the biggest clusterfuck of the franchise. I'm just saying, you guys know what movies are the clusterfucks. I'm just saying. We should take a poll on what we think the biggest clusterfuck sequel installment of the franchise is. I'm just saying. Whatever. Side note. Anyway. But, no, but, like, the monologue just, it sucked. It was just, like, and especially, too, having someone, from the movie read or do this monologue that we don't even know who that person is supposed to be. Like, Paul Rudd, this was his first movie. It was done before Clueless, technically. I know he was in Clueless the same year. This was technically his first movie. It was his film debut. I mean, he does an alright job, but he, like, even for me, like, he's just so, like, monotone and robotic. Like, I get it. Like, he went through some crap, like, 17 years before. But whatever. Just things like that about this movie that I'm like, but yeah, just to have him open up the movie with this monologue, and a very incorrect monologue on certain levels, it didn't do anything for me. I'm just saying. Yeah, so he's kind of like, around, like, his character lives across the street from the old Myers house, which we all know, once again, is not the actual true Myers house, different filming location and everything, whatever. But honestly, the where they were shooting, that is actually a really beautiful town. Like, I did get a little bit of a Halloween feel to it and everything, so it did work a little bit, the setting worked a bit and everything, but whatever. So after Lori actually is killed, and she's actually in this version, in this one she's killed much differently than in the producer's cut. In this version, she's like literally impaled, pushed back onto these, like, prongs. Some sort of, like, cutting instrument. I don't even know what the hell it is, for, like, bales or something. I don't even know, but yeah, she's killed that way and everything, and she's like, you're not gonna get the baby, Michael, and, so, whatever. So yeah, so she had actually run away from, like, whoever the man in black is. We still don't know who the man in black is yet. We will find out later in the movie who it is. It's actually Dr. Wynn, who, plays much more prominent role in this movie and in the producer's cut than in the first one, but I think if memory serves, he's the doctor who's coming out with Loomis after Michael escapes and everything. That's the character that he's supposed to be. So, but yeah, we find out that later on in the movie, he's the one who is Man in Black and everything, which I'm like, that really doesn't make a whole lot of sense. Yeah, and I don't like how Jamie, once again, was killed off in either version, in this version or the producer's cut. It was a wasted kill, in my opinion. But yeah, whatever. So now, of course, Michael is, out. He's trying to find this baby for some reason. We don't know why he's searching for this baby. Maybe because it's, but basically because it was Jamie's. The baby is part of the bloodline and everything. He seems to like to kill his family. They do try and explain the Thorn aspect, like the druids and everything, and Samhain and everything, all that tying in, which I give him credit for trying to do that, trying to stay consistent with some things. I have to give Daniel Ferrens, who wrote this, a lot of credit, because he did really try to kind of make sense of everything that came before and trying to really kind of tie everything together in this one. But it was too much. I feel like it was too ambitious. Plus, you do have a studio now that really doesn't care about franchises. They just want the money. They don't really care what the movie's about. Plus too, like I said, they ended up like shooting the version of the movie and then reshooting a third of the movie. So even they were kind of like, didn't know what to do with this, or didn't really care. They were just like, we're gonna make whatever movie we want. But yeah, whatever. So yeah, they try and explain the thorn aspect and everything, and like, he's a demon curse and everything to sacrifice, that, to sacrifice one family in order to like save a whole tribe and everything, which kind of makes sense. But at the same time, when you're talking about Michael Myers, the boogeyman, totally does not work. I know Mustafa Akkad was kind of like, okay, well, we, kind of was encouraging to have more development with the Michael character and everything, because he has said to, I know, like, my Halloween 25 Years of Terror documentary and stuff, he kind of says in, like, throughout different, like, special features on different sets and everything, and DVDs and stuff, he was kind of like, if you do the same sort of story and the same, like, Michael each time, it's gonna get kind of, like, boring. You're not really gonna go anywhere. I do kind of agree with him on that. You do have to introduce some new, things to move the story along and everything, but the whole Thorn thing, it just totally messes everything up. I feel like this is, like, that moment in the franchise. Like, I know 4 and 5, even I've kind of alluded to it, like, you kind of start seeing some inconsistencies, issues with continuity errors, but I feel like this is the moment where the whole franchise just kind of broke apart, and going forward, this movie included, it's such a clusterfuck of sequels after this point, and remakes and everything, that I truly feel this movie totally just killed the franchise. I'm just saying, I know, like, Resurrection gets a lot of shit for that, even Rob Zombie's remakes and stuff, as much as I don't like those, and I do actually kind of like this one. I will actually watch either version of this, every so often, more than those. I actually like this one, but this was the one that really kind of broke the entire franchise for me. I know that's a little controversial. I know some of you may not agree with that. I respect that. If you guys feel more like 4 and 5 kind of did that, or maybe like H2O and stuff, I respect that. I do. I'm not even gonna, like, argue that, you guys know how I am, though. But yeah, so in the whole, like, once again, the whole Thorn thing, just, it to me was stupid, because whatever, and it suddenly became his mark. Like, that's his mark. Like, no, Michael didn't ever have a mark. His mark was a freaking dead body somewhere in a bed or hanging on the wall like a freaking Halloween decoration. That's his mark, not a freaking thorn on his damn wrist. I'm just saying, there's nothing supernatural about him. He is a psychotic killer. Movies should never have happened. Sorry, I'm getting very passionate about this. Whatever. So yeah, and the reason why Michael's kind of coming back to Haddonfield and everything, and really kind of trying to, like, focus on, like, this one house that's across the street from Tommy, is, this used to be, like I said, Michael Myers' house and everything. Now these Strodes are moved in, because suddenly the Strodes, like Laurie's parents and everything, her adoptive parents and everything, suddenly also have family members that are into, like, the realty business and everything. The guy, the father, who's, like, the biggest douchebag father ever, he is definitely in contender of being one of the biggest douchebags ever, ends up, like, moving him and his family into this house and everything, because his brother can't sell it, so it's like, hey, you know what, brother, I'll go ahead and, like, buy your house. Like, why? Why? Especially considering that, I don't know, the years before, this maniac guy tried to kill your adopted daughter. I don't know, I'm just saying. It's kind of weird. And then your niece and stuff, or your granddaughter and stuff. Like, that makes sense. Let's move in. Could have been worse. Could have been the poltergeist house, I guess. Whatever. Gotta pick the curse that you want. So, but yeah, like, they move in and everything, and it's just like, who is this family? I have no emotional connection to them at all. So pretty much after, like, you know, Jamie's character dies, it's kind of like, I don't really care about any of these people anymore. Even little Tommy Doyle, who's all grown up, it is, like, weird himself and is, like, could be a robot. I don't know. Maybe he was a robot from part 3. I don't know. I'm just saying. Whatever. There's your little, like, connection to Halloween 3. He's a robot from Halloween 3. Whatever. He does seem to know a lot about the Irish, stuff with Halloween and stuff. I'm just saying. Just saying. And the ending is much different from the, producer's cut. The ending in this one, and it's so atrocious. So atrocious. So basically, the ending is a battle between Michael and Dr. Loomis. Kira, who's the daughter of the Strodes, her father's the biggest asshole. Kira's son, who, whatever, and then Tommy Doyle. So they're all trying to, like, you know, battle off, you know, Michael and everything. And this kind of feels like the ending feels kind of like I don't know, like the ending of, like, some sort of, like, boss fight in a video game or an action movie or something. Not really, or even, like, almost like a Friday 13th sort of, like, ending. It sucked. Big time. It did. It was just, like, but yeah. Yeah. And also, too, like, Kira, because, like, Kira and her son, kind of going back a little bit, sorry, guys, it's kind of all over the place. But Kira, had moved back in with her family, her parents and her brother and everything. And, for some reason, like, her father is, like, once again, like I said, the dad's such a douchebag and just kind of is, like, the biggest asshole to his daughter. We don't even know why. I mean, even in the producer's cut, we don't really get a reason why he's so, like, has so much anger and hostility towards them. We have no idea. He just makes comments like, oh yeah, life was going good until you and this bastard kid showed up at the door. It's like, what the, like, what the fuck happened? What is wrong with the Strode family? I'm just saying. Like, that dad deserved to fucking die. I'm just saying. He deserved it. So, I mean, a lot of it is just like, one thing they did do right, I feel like, in this movie, total, like, random side note, because I know I didn't bring this up, is that Haddonfield finally banned Halloween with, you know, everything that had gone on and everything. It seemed like on Halloween. So they did one thing right, I feel, because I feel like at some point, I think I may have kind of said this in my part 5 or part 4 review, maybe 5, but it's like, dude, you finally, like, canceled Halloween, you banned Halloween in this town, like, rightfully so, whatever. Probably the only thing this movie did right. But no, I mean, this is, like I said, this is, like, such a little, like, clusterfuck of a movie. It just, I can't. But no, I mean, let me know what your thoughts are on Halloween 6, the theatrical cut. But let me know what you guys think and stuff. What you prefer part 6? Do you prefer theatrical, producer's cut, or do you not even prefer to watch the sequel at all? Let me know. Till next time, you guys, as always, stay creepy, classy, and a little bit sassy.